Today's video might change the trajectory of your entire life, so follow along closely, and this is going to be the beginning of the path towards changing your life. There's going to be some sparking that goes off in your brain, but follow along until the very end. I'm going to make this power-packed, short, but I promise you, if you really absorb these ideas, it could change everything for you, for the people close to you, and hopefully the world if your goal is to transform it. So to lay out a ground philosophy for the rest of this video, I want you to understand that fulfillment, in my experience of it and talking to so many mentors around the world, is the harmony between ambition and peace, and having those both exist at the same time in the same space within you. So let's talk about ambition. Ambition is what creates growth, what creates progress in humans. And progress doesn't mean more money or bigger things. Progress means progress. It's whatever you want. And I'm going to give you a key here to unlock what your ambition is going to be, because some people know that immediately. You know, you want a big house, you want whatever, you want a team, you want a certain size company, you want a certain amount of family, you want so many kids, you want a certain type of woman or man, right? But here's the thing. For each person, your ambition is going to be very different. But your enthusiasm and your curiosity are the voices, the languages that destiny speaks. And so if you tune in to the things that bring that passion in you, the things that you are really excited about, which can be very different from the next person, and only you can know what it truly is, the enthusiasm, the things that bring up passion in you are your destiny. And then the thing even more powerful than enthusiasm are the things that bring curiosity to you. That is the other language of destiny. So if you're curious, if you have this insatiable desire to understand things, and you have enthusiasm about that thing or other things, follow those. That is your life path. Follow enthusiasm and curiosity, okay? So that's how you figure out your ambition. Now, peace is different. I have this system that I call the buckets, and the top bucket, the biggest one that overflows into everything else in your life, starts with self-love, which is really just I am enough. Do you feel like you deserve the things that you truly want? And if not, just keep working on that. You've got to get to a place in life, and you will, that you feel completely enough for all the things that you could ever want or that someone would offer you. So if you've ever been in a place, like I had someone try to offer me dinner I mentioned about in another video, and my first response was, no, I've got it. I've got plenty of money, I can handle it myself. That was a defense mechanism. I didn't feel immediately worthy of that person paying for my dinner, and they were just doing it as a thank you because of how I had helped them with just my teaching that I would have done anyways because I love it. And so I immediately put that guard down and said, yeah, I would love for you to do that. I would love to give you the opportunity to contribute to me. And so, do you feel worthy of everything that destiny puts in your path? Do you feel worthy to ask for the things that you really want? And you can work on that. And I highly recommend people like Marissa Peer or Rapid Transformational Therapy to work on that further. And we'll talk about that more on the channel, but there's just so much to understand about that. I'll link a video in the cards that you can go look at to get more of the I am enoughness in you. The second one is your health. If you don't have your health, it's really hard to focus on the things that really matter in life on the other buckets. So making sure that you have the discipline and the consistency to really take care of your health, which comes a lot from, do you feel enough? Do you feel worthy to take care of your body, to be at your full vitality, your full energy? And so dialing in your self-love and your health, very important. And then the third one that people usually don't expect me to say is money. You need to have a certain base level of either liquid in the bank account or cash flow that's predictable so that you can feel safe and secure with you. Even if it's being provided by somebody else, it's so important to have your self-love, your health, and your money at a level that helps you feel secure and safe. In that order, okay? Everything else comes after that. You can do relationships at the same time. You can have friends, you can do spirituality. I'm just saying that these three things, while we're in our human form, are critical to focus on and to build the discipline and consistency to have them at a level that helps you feel safe, secure, and at peace. And so when you have your ambitions, you follow your enthusiasm and curiosity, you deserve the things that come your way, you feel deserving of them, and you feel deserving to ask for what you want, and simultaneously you have the peace to understand that everything in your life must be perfect. At one point you had something tough happen to you. I had that really incredible, challenging breakup, dark night of the soul with a woman and her 3 children, but that ended up being so perfect for me and built me to be so much more empathetic and understanding of others, and really called out unlocked an even higher level of myself. And now I'm so grateful that I went through that experience and experienced the depth of the emotions that came out of that. And so you've got ambition and you've got peace, which creates fulfillment. And now from there, you have to ask, okay, so what is my purpose, or what is the thing that I should be doing? How do I find that fulfillment, that destiny for myself? And how does it really come into the 3D world, right? So when I was 18 years old, I got hired by a motivational speaker, right? And I worked with him and it was so amazing. And then about a year and a half in, he offered to build my own personal brand for me. He wanted to put me on stage, wanted to sell me as a separate act alongside him. And I said no, and I ghosted him. And I did that because I felt so unworthy of what he was offering me at that time. My 19-year-old self could not comprehend that someone had that much faith and belief in me, and I just could only think about how I was going to fail and how I was going to let him down. And I feared that so much that I said no and ran away. And for years, I didn't talk to him. For years. And now I see that as perfect because it instilled a fire in me to get back to this moment, to get back to helping people in this way, to go on stages around the world, which I've been doing for years now. And even still, I've held myself back from doing this, from going out and doing speeches regularly. No matter how many compliments and how much praise I got, that unworthiness held me back, that I am enoughness was not quite there. And I'm always building it, and I'll always be building it forever. But I feel more enough now than I ever have, and I hope the same is true for you year after year after year. And so to find your passion and your purpose, you're likely obsessed with it. Let me give you an example. Vishen Lakhiani, the founder of Mind Valley, one of the first times I ever got to hang out with him, I was going to a little lunch. There was 10, 20 people at this little brunch place in Barcelona, Spain. And he sat there, and there was a 15-year-old named Rafi who started talking and teaching us about how to pick up women, I think it was, which from a geeky 15-year-old, like who would listen? Vishen pulled out a notebook and started taking notes during that meal. And I just thought to myself, wow, this man who's building this incredible company is the reason for all of us being in Barcelona at this Mind Valley University in 2017, is taking notes from a 15-year-old. I'm going to immediately start taking notes. And what I learned is he's a super learner. That was his enthusiasm and curiosity. It may not be that way for you, it may not be that way for me, but he's now a super learner, and Mind Valley has grown so much because his thing is to spread education to the world. Marissa Peer, someone else that I've worked with a lot, when she's not doing therapy and not teaching people how to be therapists, you know what she does? She literally watches therapy on YouTube. She watches drama TV. She loves it. She's obsessed with understanding the way people's minds work and why they make the decisions that they make, why they have the emotions that they have. Clearly, she was destined to be a therapist or someone in that field, a coach, a psychologist, a psychiatrist, understanding humans' minds, right? No wonder she's the best in the world at it. And so for me, years and years ago, I grew up in a PC gaming family. I played World of Warcraft really intensely, EverQuest. I even played text-based MMOs before there were graphics where you had to type in that you wanted to attack a troll and you'd have to read that the troll was attacking you. It was really intense, amazing time. I was 4 or 5 years old when we were playing that. And so as I got older, I knew I had this sort of addiction, obsession with being on the computer for long periods of time. And so I asked myself one time, how could this be productive for me? And I decided, oh yeah, I could be a video editor. That's requiring hours and hours on the computer, and it's sort of gamified and you can get results from it. And so that's what I did, and I ended up being a great editor, and I ended up loving making content and media. Another thing that happened to me was when I played World of Warcraft, before they had all this WoW wiki and ability to memorize the stats of an item, like how much strength and how much damage it did, I was the WoW wiki for all my friends. I could, for some reason, memorize the stats of an item instantly. But then later in life, when I became an MAT specialist and I worked on muscles and healed injuries for Olympic athletes, I was able to memorize 1,200 different muscles and their nerve innervations very easily. I could access whatever strange ability I had to memorize things in my brain as I did in that World of Warcraft game. And so that talent became valuable in a real world way. And so you can start to see how you might be able to use these talents that don't at first glance look beneficial to the world in beneficial ways. And so here is how you find your passion in life. You combine these things we've just talked about. So I'm going to leave you with a question. What is something that you're currently obsessed with, whether it's video games or something else? And how can some of those skills be adjacent to real world abilities that could be your destiny, that you feel super enthusiastic about and curious about learning. And they don't have to be enthusiastic and curious. It could be one or the other. Both is incredible as well. So ask yourself, what could that be, right? And then ask yourself, who really inspires you? Who's someone you look up to and it's sort of inexplicable? And you'll know you're at the gold when it's inexplicable at first. You don't really know why you're inspired by it or why you're curious about it. That's when you go all in, when there's no explanation. I was going to Hawaii earlier this year, and on the way home, I decided to stop by a friend's house in LA. Just wanted to see them, just wanted to say what was up. I had about 25 minutes at their house. And within those 25 minutes, I started an entirely new global transformation adventure. And that was Marissa Peer and her husband, John. And I ended up helping the company in a major way. And I'm still in that process now, helping them when we've had insane results. I never would have done that had I not known that this enthusiasm and curiosity that I felt about catching up with them and about helping them grow this incredible business was a voice, a language of destiny. And so type in the comments below. I want to hear your stories. I want to hear what's inspiring you right now. And did this help you? Which parts of it helped you? Go back to different parts in the video, see if something sparks in you, and I want to hear all about it. See you in the next one.